Please welcome to the stage, Selena Coppock!
Okay, hello. How we doing? Good, okay. All right. I'm so excited to be here. This is rad. Okay, all right. The night before Thanksgiving, 2006. I can't believe it was 10 years ago. It feels like a blink of an eye, God. Yeah, so I know, 11 almost. I'm terrible at counting, yes. But yeah, so night before Thanksgiving, 2006, I had moved to New York just a few months prior, and I had just gotten a solid job, finally. I had just been hired and was about to start, after Thanksgiving, I would start as a children's editor at Barnes & Noble Corporate, and I was so excited. So I went home for Thanksgiving to the suburbs of Boston, where I grew up, Massachusetts, yeah! Mass holes, nice, Dunkin' Donuts. Love it. So I went back to have Thanksgiving there, and I'm sure my masshole friends can relate, and a lot of people can relate. The night before Thanksgiving is the traditional night when every asshole you went to high school with goes to the same bar so you can all see each other and be like, life is good! Floating on air, you know? Like, everything's coming up me! And that was sort of my intention that night. My best friend Suzanne and I were going to go out in downtown Boston to a bar called Lear, formerly known as McCarthy's. And I was going to show everybody that I'd moved to New York and I got a job, and this ugly duckling turned into a swan, you know? I was really excited to see a bunch of people and to be seen, you know what I mean? Because that's always what that night before Thanksgiving is for. Just like the see and be seen shit. And I was excited to see some people, and you know, I'd been kind of an old soul growing up, which is always a weird way to be as a kid. And I felt like finally things kind of worked out for me, and I was really excited to see some people from high school. I felt like I had something to prove. So Suzanne and I drive into Boston. We decide to have some dinner before we'll see everyone at the festivities. So we go to this great restaurant called Chroma. We drink a bunch of dirty martinis, have a bottle of wine, nice and lubed up, all right. And we're dressed up for the night. We have on high heels, tight jeans, cute blouse. I was wearing like a 70s style vest with a stripe across the front, big hoops, big blonde hair, some things never change, and a purse that I loved. So we're excited for a night out, and so after dinner, we're walking down Newbury Street, and we're headed towards Lear, which is on Boylston, Parallel Street. So we're walking down Newbury Street, and we're pretty drunk, and there's a guy coming towards us on a bike. And so we make single file so he can go by us on the bike. So Suzanne's first, and then I sort of tuck behind her so he can come by us. And as he goes by me, he scoops my purse out of my hand. And yeah, and sometimes, like, I don't know if you guys have ever been robbed, but it happens like that. And in 2 seconds, I was like, okay, Selena, you have your life, just let it go. And then I'm like, wait, no, I'm starting a new job on Monday, and I have my license in that friggin' purse, and I can't get on the bus to get back to New York without my license. I need my purse. And that all happened in like 2 seconds in my brain. You know, I'm like, oh, no, here we go. So I turn on my heel and I start chasing this guy down Newbury Street. And as I'm chasing him, I'm screaming, I'm like, help, help! And then I remembered what I heard in an episode of Oprah, which is, don't scream help, because no one will help you. What do you scream, my friends? Correct. I probably shouldn't urge you to scream that in a crowded theater right now. all a joke, everything's fine. So yes, I do that exact thing. I'm like, no, remember that episode of Oprah? And you know why you scream that is because people are inherently selfish. And they think that they could be hurt by a fire, so they are willing to intervene. Whereas if you're just like, I need help, they're like, sorry, you're on your own. So I'm like, fire! So, and I'm very drunk, so I'm screaming as I'm running. I'm just like, fire! Fire! Like some shitty Doors cover band. You know, just like, fire! You know? Oh, man. So I'm chasing down, screaming this at this guy, and I don't know if you guys know Newbury Street, but it's more of a retail area. Like at night, it's pretty dark. Like there aren't a ton of restaurants there, so it's a pretty smart place for this guy to mug me. Like, good work, my friend. But there's not a lot, but there are a few restaurants, and they're pretty classy restaurants, and most of them have valets. And these valets, I don't know if they see this all the time, but they are just watching the show. Like, we are running by and they're just watching it go by. So as we're running, I'm like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And as we're going, my best friend Suzanne is with me and she's calling 911 while we're running. This delightful couple sees the crime parade, they join in. So we're just like hustling down Newbury Street. And I gotta say, like, I do really love running. It's my favorite type of working out. Just like put on Appetite for Destruction, go, you know? So I'm able to catch up to this guy. So I end up running alongside him we're like on the sidewalk. He's on a bike right here to the left of me, and I'm in the right lane. And I'm like, God damn, Selena, what you gonna do now? Like, did you think about this? So, and I didn't know what to do. Like, it was just kind of crazy and all unfolded so quickly. So I just took my fist, balled it up, and I took my hand, balled up into a fist, and just punched him in the chest. And he lost his balance, thankfully. And on the bike, he's just like, and I know he's about to just eat shit. But he's gonna eat shit into my lane of running. So I'm like, oh no. So I watch him go down. He's just like, but his bike busts out into my lane. Thankfully, I used to do a ton of tumbling and figure skating. So I shit you not, I am able to jump over and stick the landing. But then we continue on foot. Yeah. And in college, I had like a workout addiction / recreational eating disorder, so I could run all day long. That's fine by me. Here we go. So we just continue on foot. And at this point, it's like I'm so drunk, and I'm like, this is so absurd, so I'm just like, fuck you! I work in publishing! I make shit money! And we're just like going along. It was so ridiculous. Finally, this guy is like, this chick is a psychopath. So he takes my purse and he just whips it into some bushes. And then he crosses Newbury Street to go back to get his bike. Because his bike is worth more than my Gap purse. So he goes away, I grab my purse, everything is still there because the zipper is so shitty that it's not easy to open. Thank you! The Gap, saving my shit. So I open it up, everything's there, my makeup, $6 cash, pack of cigarettes, you know, because I like working out, but I also like smoking, so cardio health is like at 0. So I like pull out a cigarette, I'm like so riled up, I pull out a cigarette, have a smoke, Suzanne, my best friend, is like, cops are on their way. I'm like, oh my God. And this sweet couple is like, we'll stick around, we'll tell them all, you know, we'll testify to what happened, whatever. Whew. So, you know, within minutes, all these Crown Victorias roll up. And some are marked cop cars, which are all Crown Vics. Some are unmarked Crown Vics, but like, how obvious is an unmarked Crown Vic, you know? I remember once my dad wanted to buy a Crown Vic just like as a civilian car. And I was like, Dad, everyone's gonna think you're an undercover cop. Like, no, you can't buy that. So all these Crown Vics roll up. Boston PD, some are in uniform, some are not in uniform, and they're all just so goddamn mass. Like, you can like smell the Dunkin' Donuts on their breath, you know? And they're like so sweet, and they're just trying to figure out what happened here because it's such an insane story. And like, honestly, I wouldn't believe the story if I hadn't lived it, and I have witnesses in Boston. Like, trust me, it's the most bonkers story of my life. But so Boston PD, they're just like, miss, trying to get a sense of what happened here. Perpetrator came at you on a bicycle. Took your pocketbook. You gave chase. You were somehow ended up catching up to him. You punched him. You were able to get your pocketbook back. He fled the way he'd come from back toward Mass Ave. Is that correct? And I was like, yes, that is exactly how it played out, yeah. And they, like, God bless those guys. They were so sweet. They were like, God damn, you got a lot of hustle in you, kid. And they go, you got a bunch of brothers at home? And I was like, no, I grew up the youngest of 3 girls, all sisters, no. But I will say this, that's the last time I've ever gone back to Boston for Thanksgiving. And Suzanne and I didn't even go to the reunion that night, you know, like, we're just like, I guess let's call it a night, because I don't know, I had this whole idea that I needed to prove something to people, and I was like, I don't feel like I gotta prove shit anymore. Thank you guys so much.
Take a risk! arrest.